hurry. Aiden, hurry. All right, go. Yes.
Camera. Fraction.
All right, very nice. Very nice. Okay. So the sorry, I've got something stuck. So we're going to talk about rewriting equations into slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, is an unbelievably famous and useful equation. As you know, they're the easiest by far to graph. Don't you agree with me?
No.
Less than 10 seconds, you can graph those.
Yes. Yeah.
Any one of them, right? No matter how hard they are, piece of cake to graph.
Y equals over.
What?
Never mind.
So, anyways, it's a fantastic equation. It also says y equals, which we have found is useful when we are doing systems of equations by substitution, right? But they don't always give it to us in that form. So we have to learn how to transform it. And I know we did it a little bit over the last few days, but I felt like we needed one night of just practicing that for homework so that we are just doing transforming problems into y equals format, right? The slope-intercept format, some people actually call it the y equals form because it's so important that it says y equals, that they actually do that. So, do you have your notebook open? Why don't you get it open?
Yeah.
What are you looking at? Okay, good. All right. All right, so here, we're going to just do a bunch. And we're going to see, here's our first example. 8x minus 4y equals 20.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it doesn't matter which way I do it. Well, actually, yes, it does. Because I'm going for slope-intercept. So I'm going for y equals, right? So I'm solving for y. That is actually what I'm technically doing. I am solving for y. That's it. That's what this is all about, solving for y. So I want to say y equals, not this whole mess. So what is in the way of it saying y equals? So Bella.
So you minus the x, no, 8x, and then
Yes.
you
So
divide by.
so right. So there's the two things that are in the way. There's two things. There's the 8x, right? Everybody agrees with me. And then there's the minus 4 in front of the y. Both of those are in the way of it saying y equals, right? And why would I not deal with the minus 4 first?
Because it's I don't know.
What would I have to do? What is negative 4 doing to y?
It's making it
It's, is it multiplying, subtracting, dividing? Or it's multiplying. That means to get rid of that negative 4 right now, I'd have to divide everything by 4. And I'd rather not do that now. I'd rather move things over first.
Then you
Just get in the habit, trust me, get in the habit of moving this over first, right? I'm not going to go into large explanation on this. I'm just telling you this would be definitely the easiest way to do it. And then suddenly I have my negative 4y is equal to negative x. Why would I put the negative 8x first?
I don't know. Because it's easier.
Well, what am I aiming for?
Slope-intercept.
Slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. You're right, it's the same thing. But if it's going to be truly in this format, you could put the x first and the b last.
Negative x, but then
so-
wouldn't it be?
So I've got my negative 8x, and then I have a positive 20 here, so I put positive 20 here, plus 20. You with me?
No.
No.
Not really.
Which,
I
all I did was subtract 8x from both sides. And that gave me negative 4y is equal to negative 8x
Okay.
plus 20.
Wait, but the thing I think about it is that why wouldn't you add 4y both sides? Because then you just have 8x equals 20
Because
plus.
I want my y on the left side.
So you're trying to find. Oh, solving for y. I
Right,
thought we were
I'm
solving
solving
for x.
for y.
Okay,
Okay.
I get it.
So now, what's my problem now? For it to be y equals, what's my problem?
Take the negative
Jackson.
four.
The negative.
Negative 4, right? So I'm going to divide everything by negative 4. Everything by negative 4. Everything by negative 4. Now, I've noticed some of you are not doing everything. Some people are leaving out a middle term. They're not dividing this one by -4, they're only dividing this and this. If you're dividing by -4, you gotta divide every term. This is a term, this is a term, this is a term. You gotta divide each one by -4. So the negative crossed out, the 4 is crossed out. That gives me y equals, yes! I've got the negatives crossed out. I've got 8 divided by 4 is 2, and then the x tags along. And then, well, I'm not sure. I've got 20 divided by -4. -5, right? So -5, and I'm done. There's my slope intercept line. Okay? So let's do number 2.
Okay, then, wait, then, Gary, could you just, like, do you want us to put y equals 2x over 1 minus 5? Like, because that's the easiest way to graph it.
Well, are we gonna have to
Do I
graph
do?
on this, or
Well,
are we
like-
just gonna find?
You don't have to write 2 over 1.
Okay.
You can just
Because
keep
we're
it
not
as 2x.
graphing it.
But if you're
So-
graphing it, that's just when you're graphing it, you just
Yeah.
flip that and make it a fraction. Yes.
So then is our final answer then y equals 2x?
That is the final answer, because I don't know what x and y is. It's a good question. All I'm doing is I'm rewriting it into a form that says
If
y
we did, it
equals.
would be a lot
that make
harder
sense?
to graph.
So then if I was using this in system of equations, I could circle this and substitute it into the other equation in place of y.
God, Gary, you're a genius.
Yes, okay, let's try another one. How about 2x plus 3y equals 12. So guys, focus, stay focused, stay focused. We're doing one more easy one, and then I'm gonna do a couple harder ones, so you can just sort of see. All right, so we had 2x plus 3y equals 12. I want it to say y equals. I would say then my 2x is in the way, and also my 3, right? I'm gonna get rid of my 2x first. That's the first thing. I'm gonna subtract 2x. Subtract 2x. So that gives me 3y is equal to -2x plus 12. Now I see my 3 is in the way. I am going to divide by 3.
But then.
Divide by 3.
Hard though.
Divide by 3.
What's 2 divided by 3?
The 3's cross out.
Negative 2 divided by 3 would just be -2 over 3.
-2/3. And then I put my x afterwards. Do you see what I did there?
That makes sense.
Right?
Say what I did.
I just wrote the fraction first, and then I just put the x after.
Plus 4.
And then plus 4. And there's my
Yay.
y equals form. Right?
Gary, instead of having to write like divided by 3, divided by 3, divided by 3, can you just make one line with
Yeah.
divided by 3 under it and know that it goes to everything?
You can. I'll just tell you why I don't do that. Is because this is what happens. If somebody had that, 3y is equal to -2x plus 12, and somebody does this, this is what happens. Okay, so y is equal to -2x plus 12.
That's not what I did.
Right,
No.
some people do it that way. And so I just,
Close, like-
when I'm teaching it, I want you to understand, you gotta take the 3 out of this, you gotta take a 3 out of this, you gotta take out 3 out of that. You gotta divide everything by that 3.
But is it
That's
okay
why-
if we write it like that?
It is, you're more likely to make mistakes though. I'm just telling you
If
from,
we do it right though, is it okay?
it's okay. It's okay. It's just, and I do it sometimes, you'll see me do it sometimes when I'm solving a problem. But, all right, so that's that one. Okay, let's do number 3. Now we're gonna get a little harder. Okay, let's see if we can do this one. Let's do this one. 0.8
What?
x
No,
plus
Gary, stop.
0.4 y is equal to 1.2.
Way better than you.
Gary,
Decimals are not so hard, guys.
No,
They're easy.
they are.
they're mean.
Okay, I'm looking to make it say y equals, am I right? So my 0.8x is in the way, and also my 0.4. I'm gonna get rid of this first. I'm gonna subtract 0.8x, subtract 0.8x, and that gives me 0.4y is equal to, sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Negative 0.8x plus 1.2. Okay? So now I have this problem here. I'm going to just divide by 0.4, divide by 0.4, divide by 0.4. All right.
Wait, they all go in evenly.
So this all crosses out, so I have y equals. Now with these, feel free, until you get comfortable with them, it's top divided by bottom, right? Am I right? Top divided by bottom. So top, 0.8, and I'm dividing 0.4 into it. What do I have to do before I divide? What do I have to do? I move the decimals, look at this. I move it over 1, I move it over 1. It's just 8 divided by 4, which is 2, right? I'm done.
Negative
So
0.2.
we got, negative 2, not 0.2.
Why?
Because look, because the decimal was here,
But
here.
then you have
I-
to move them back.
I move it over here, I put it here. I move it over here, I put it here. Now I bring it up and I put it
I
here.
know, but don't you have to move them back?
No.
Why is it negative?
No.
Yeah, you have to move them back with every other one.
Oh, it's negative
No, you don't.
8.
When you usually do division with that.
No, when you divide, well, actually, I think we need to do some division in this class.
Really?
So we're gonna practice this too at some point. I'll just give you a homework assignment. We'll do a
People
whole
might
lecture
be
on dividing.
divided on that
So,
subject, Gary.
but the decimal has to stay where you finally leave it, right? Okay, so it's 8 divided by 4 is 2, 2.0, or just 2. So we got negative 2 plus,
three.
now I've got
Yep.
1.2, and I've got to divide that by 0.4. Now I'm going to move it over 1,
It's gonna
move it over 1, bring this up, put the decimal there.
Three.
4 goes to 12 3 times, right? So it's 3. So it's plus 3.
Okay then.
Oh, I forgot my x. And I'm done. See how easy that was? Yes.
No.
When you subtract, or when you divide the 4y, then the y stays there. But then when you subtract the 8x, the x just moves. Wouldn't the x stay there? Or am I confused? Because you subtract the 0.8x, and then you just move the x down because there's nothing to subtract it by. But then wouldn't the x just still be there? Because you divide
It is still there.
Well, yeah, like on the left hand.
Over here?
When you divide the 0.4y, the y stays on the left side.
Right, but I didn't divide the 0.8x. I subtracted
So
it.
you subtracted everything.
Everything goes
And then
over.
when you divide the,
When you divide, you're only usually dividing by the coefficient in front of the y. Good question. But when you're subtracting the whole kit and caboodle, right? Because you don't know, you don't know what else, you don't know what x is. You can't separate, if two things are being multiplied together, you can't separate them by subtracting. The only way to separate them is to divide. But dividing would be useless, because then I'd still have my x over here. I don't want it over there. All right, last one. 3. Question? Yes.
unless I don't remember this right, when you divide, don't you like move the decimal place back in both places, whichever how much, and then you move it back
You
by
don't.
how many you have? Like,
You don't.
that's only for multiplication.
No.
When you multiply, you count it and then you.
Well, I understand how.
Like if you took a
0.4
calculator and
versus
checked it,
0.5.
this would be right. But let me do that, just because I've got 3 minutes to finish this lecture. Let me just, is that okay? I don't mean to put you off. It's a great question, and I would like to cover that. But I just want to finish one last one, because otherwise you're going to be lost on that one
Yeah,
problem.
I did 0.8 divided by 0.4, and the calculator says that it's 0.2, I mean 2.
Yeah. So number 4,
Are we actually doing the problems on homework, or you just?
I'm,
Problems on the homework?
no, this is just an extra sheet that I did. So here we go. Y minus 1 is equal to 2/3 x plus 3. All right.
Wait, that's easy.
What form is that actually written in? Does anybody remember?
Oh, is it standard? No.
No.
It's something, but I can't remember.
We have, we have 3 different ones. There's slope intercept, there's standard form, and then there's point slope.
Oh, point four.
So remember, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1.
Wait, how would you do 2 over
So the point, if you ever want to know the point, it's the opposite of this, comma, the opposite of this. So it'd be -3, comma, +1. And your slope is 2/3. Don't worry, we'll review that. We did one homework assignment on that.
super?
But now, I need this, guys, Aiden, I need this to be simplified as to y equals.
Wait, Gary, so when you do 2/3 times 3, how would you?
Well, let's do it. So Bella's totally right. The first thing we have to do is get rid of the parentheses. So I'm going to rewrite this, y minus 1 is equal to, what is 2/3 times x?
2/3 x.
Right? Now, how would I do this other thing? If we've got,
Oh,
we've got 2/3 times 3. You agree with me?
Just put
no. You would put 3 over 1.
So really, it's 3 over 1, right?
And then you have
And the 3's can just cross out.
No, it's 2.
So it's just 2. So plus 2. All right, now what do I have to do?
You
Now
add
add
1.
Add 1. I'm done. Right?
What?
Y is equal to 2/3 x plus 3.
What was
We
that?
had
Right?
that. What? That was the beginning, except for the parentheses. Yeah. And
Oh, is that the one we did, the first?
no, look, it said in parentheses 2/3 x plus 3, and now we also.
Oh,
have
that's
2/3
weird.
x
Oh,
plus
wow,
3.
that's so weird, isn't it? It doesn't always work out that way, just so you know. Definitely doesn't
Why?
always work out that way. But,
Wait,
so, justify, let's just review this one again. This is in point slope form. I have to get rid of the parentheses, so I multiply it out. 2/3 x plus 2/3 times 3, the 3's cross out, so 2. Now I just add this 1 to get y equals, y all alone, and that gives me that. Piece of cake.
piece of cake.
Very, very easy.
I like cake.
All right,
Lots of cake.
so that is the lecture.